Back in Portland again. It is I, Toshio.
And it is I, Lulu, from where'slulu.com, and this is Accessible Intercourse.
Dun, da, da, da.
La, 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 la.
I just joined the online dating site OkCupid. How much should I reveal about my disability before I go on a date?
Years ago when I was in college, I did online dating, hid the disability part. I didn't say it at all, didn't mention it. You know, you sort of talk with someone and then you get to the point where you're going to go on a date and you have to say, by the way,
we can't go to this restaurant because it's not accessible.
Or, you know, by the way, I'm in a wheelchair, and like hoping that they're cool with it.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I expected the worst. I expected that if I, you know, said that I was disabled, like no one would want to talk to me. And that was not the case. Because I've done it again, where I put my disability out there and I kind of went over it several times, like trying to make it as obvious as possible because I'm in a different place. I see my disability differently now as something positive. I also would never want to date someone who was going to discriminate against me because they know I'm in a chair.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why would I waste my time?
It weeds out the assholes in a way.
It does weed out the assholes, some of them. I mean, they can be assholes in other ways,
That's
trust
true.
me. Put yourself out there, see what happens. You might be pleasantly surprised.
In a sexual relationship, a bottom. If you don't know what a bottom and a top is, a top is like the dominant one in the situation. The bottom is the receiver, quote unquote receiver.
The disability aspect is only one part of that equation. You might be disabled, but you might be hella flexible.
You can certainly be the mental dominatrix regardless of what your disability is.
And verbal dominatrix.
And verbal dominatrix.
When I first moved to Portland, I was friends with a woman who was a prostitute who learned her
Sex worker.
Who learned her stuff from a dominatrix who was in a wheelchair. I find it funny that someone would automatically assume that I am a bottom just given my personality. That's cute that anyone would assume that I was a bottom. There's a lot of positions you can do. There's a lot of toys you can get. You know, they have the swings you can get. I mean, there's all different kinds of stuff. But being a top doesn't necessarily always mean like a literal, I'm on top of you, I'm cowgirl.
Right.
So who's in control, the top or the bottom? Because initially you would say the top, but the bottom is kind of controlling the action in a lot of ways.
That's true.
So that's another question.
Without the bottom, I mean, there's no prey for the hunter.
Are disabled people always bottoms? No. Am I a bottom? I don't know. Sometimes. Some of it has to do with disability, some of it doesn't.
I'm a 23-year-old guy with muscular dystrophy. I don't breathe when I sleep, and so I have a trach for a ventilator. The fear I run into is with the trach, I suction out green crap, which is probably the most unattractive thing a human can do. I pretty much carry a hospital room with me in the backseat of my vehicle. I can see this culminating in a very sticky situation on a date, where everything is going fine, then the date sees the equipment and wants to hit the road. Would you even bother saving the date?
So I'm 29 now. I'm a spinster. When I was in my early 20s, I was definitely very, very self-conscious about my disability, and dating was just kind of one big ball of anxiety and horror. I definitely dated a lot more since then and made a lot of mistakes, dated a lot of mistakes. I empathize with that fear and that anxiety.
This fear is probably people might automatically shut him out of the running.
Right, yeah.
And I mean, that's probably a valid fear because a lot of people aren't open-minded.
Some people
aren't open-minded.
Jerks. There are people out there who would never date me because I sit down.
There are people who would never date me because I'm Asian.
Yeah.
And I got blonde hair, bitches. Yeah. Everyone's got their quirks. Maybe the girl that you're going on a date with has a secret love child stowed away somewhere in the backseat of her car.
And you can judge her for that. Don't disregard your own value out of a fear of what could be.
Mm-hmm.
I certainly did that for years, and it didn't do me any good. I have friends of chicks who got married or who are just super kinky, orgy people. Don't take yourself out of the running before you've even gone into the race. We're gonna use these metaphors. Always fart in front of your dates. That's the where's
the
Lulu?
true test.
That's the where's Lulu promise. You wrote cock on your grocery list.